I chose the perfect mutant to be a tank in Marvel Rivals, and that is that boy Maggot. And for those unfamiliar, which I imagine most of you are, those two big old slugs are his stomach, and whatever they eat transfers the energy for him. So, his primary fire is going to be Maggot Fist, where, he punches, because, he doesn't really have any range. Then, his first main ability is Slug Toss, where he gets to toss, his slugs at enemies. He could throw one or two of them, two charges since there's two. So when they're on the enemy, they latch on, they decently tanking around 150 health, maybe 100. 150 is too much. So they latch onto an enemy, they bite and chomp and nibble on them. And they can latch on to other things too. You can throw them onto shields, they'll like bite, eat through shields. Or you can throw them on penny mines, rocket revives, any tangible substance they can latch onto and eat, any physical substance. And so whenever these slugs come back to you, they come with a meter of how much they ate. And that meter gives them their charge. So they come back to you, whether you summon them so they can crawl back to you, or they die. And they do die with charge, because if an enemy could kill them and you just don't get the charge, then Maggot would be kind of useless. So they have slug charge and slug sustain. So if you use slug charge with their meter, it gives you basically big old damage increase over health with some shield. And then slug sustenance, it gives you acts as a healing move. Now you can stack both of these. So if you got both slugs at full meter, you can very much do slug charge double up, so you get double the shield, double the damage buff, or double the heals. So, get yourself a nice little stack. And then his last ability is Maggot Slam, where he can grab an enemy and just slam him into the ground, kind of like this. And I felt like giving him some sort of slam or some sort of auxiliary ability, so that he could be, so he's not directly, responding or directly basically having to rely on his slugs all the time. Because otherwise, if I didn't give him this slam, he would basically have no abilities when both the slugs are out. Then his ultimate is Kaiju Slug, where he throws one of his slugs into the ground and it eats and burrows into the ground and comes up as like a big giant worm, and just chomping up enemies with obviously increased health. And then his team up with Storm, since he's been working with Storm, is Thunder Slug. So whenever he does slug charge, the slugs are charged with Storm's lightning. So he gets, lightning status effects when he hits and damages enemies. That's my Maggot concept for my little deep cut.